Hi Scorpio, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your weekly reading for January. I hope you guys are well. I am going to take a quick second, Scorpio, to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every Scorpio out there. So guys, take what resonates for you and leave the rest for someone else. Please keep in mind that the energies can reverse. So if it is resonating, get in where you fit in. But as always, Scorpio, don't force yourself into a reading that's not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Scorpio? Scorpio. Scorpio. All right, Scorpio, you are starting out with the Four of Swords in the reverse. You have the Fool in reverse, and you have the Knave of Swords. So you're searching here. You're looking to see whether or not there's a new beginning that's happening here with the Fool in reverse. I do feel like you are communicating with somebody here that you previously were at war with. You may even feel like this person kind of made you feel foolish at some point. But I feel like there's communication after a break in the communication. But you're checking to see, are the two of you compatible? Are the two of you, you know, on the same page? So you're vetting this person. There has been some communication that I'm seeing, though. And there's a possibility of there being some sort of a new beginning for you. It's like you're kind of on the edge of it. And you're trying to check, is this the direction I really want to go? Let's see who's in your energy, Scorpio. Show me who's in Scorpio's energy. All right, we have the Knight of Swords. We have the King of Cups in the reverse. So you could be dealing with a Pisces, another Scorpio, or a Cancer sign. And we have the Ten of Wands reverse. So this person has likely reached out to you. There's communication. Now, they may have reached out in a way that was a little bit abrasive or possibly impulsive. Because I'm seeing them communicating with you more on an intellectual level, less so on a emotional level. They have deep feelings for you. However, they don't know how you feel about them. And so they're kind of holding back these feelings, these emotions. There is also this energy that you may have had a fight with this person in the past, and they may still feel like you were responsible for that fight, which could also be the reason you're kind of holding back a little bit. Now, do they want to resolve things? Yes. Yes, they do. I do feel like, you know, the non-communication between the two of you has just weighed on them very heavily. So they want to resolve the problems that are here. Let me see the energy between Scorpio and this person. Show me the energy between Scorpio and this person. All right, we have the Moon in reverse. Yeah. Cancer, strong Cancer energy here. This is the energy of revealing something coming to light, having communication back and forth, where feelings are, I wouldn't say feelings, because this person's kind of holding their feelings, but there's communication back and forth, and there's a realization. Now, this may have been a very dark period for you when you were not communicating with this person. And I do feel like now there are things that are coming out. This person is coming forward truthfully, which is a good thing, just with very little emotion. And I suspect that what happened is this gap in communication was weighing on them. And eventually it just got to be too much. They impulsively came forward. And we'll see what has been revealed when I do the I want to say reconcile. I don't know why that word is just popping in my mind so hard. That's not even the word I want. But we'll explore this Moon card in reverse. Let me see what's affecting this connection between Scorpio and this person. The Three of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, there's been heartbreak. So this person broke your heart. Yeah, they broke your heart. You pulled back. I do feel like there were some harsh words said. And now there's the possibility of having a new beginning here, healing the connection. I feel like they were also very hurt, and this is why they're not wearing their heart on their sleeve. But what's affecting the connection is healing. healing after heartbreak. So let me see your outcome. Show me the outcome for Scorpio. Okay, the Star card in reverse. It's almost like you don't dare hope. That's what I'm seeing. There's hope, there's a new beginning, there's healing that's trying to come in, but it's almost this energy where because you were so heartbroken, because there was such a gap in the communication, that you're hesitating. It's almost like I don't dare hope that this is going to be resolved. I don't want to put my hopes all the way into this. In their energy, I feel like they were feeling very, very heartbroken as well. And it just got to be too heavy. You're both kind of like in this energy of it's going to take a lot of work, you know, to resolve the problems that are here. I'm not sure that this person is completely taking responsibility for their part in it, because they're definitely holding their feelings and emotions back. And it's almost like they're saying, well, you could have come to me. You could have talked to me. There is a little bit of that energy that I see. So I can see why you're kind of trying to look at them and say, I don't know, you know, what's really going on here. Bottom of the deck, we have the Justice card in the reverse. Libra energy, very strong Libra energy actually. There's strong Aquarius energy as well. But what this is telling me is an underlying energy is you don't know if this can be rebalanced. Whatever happened here was pretty severe, and you're just not going to throw in blindly, you know? You want balance, you want karmic justice, and you definitely feel that there has been an injustice in the entire situation. So I can see why you're holding back. But you are trying to view this, I can see, from a more spiritual viewpoint. So let me see. Let's clarify. Spirit, why is the Four of Swords in reverse for Scorpio? All right. We have the Empress, beautiful. We have the Five of Pentacles reverse, and we have the Page of Swords reverse. You just don't know. You just don't know if this person is revealing everything. Now, what I do like is that you are seated in the Empress energy, Scorpio. There's the opportunity for reconciliation here. And I feel like you're basically looking, you're vetting this person. You're not sure. You feel like there are things that haven't been told to you, that haven't been revealed, but they're going to. I do feel this person's coming forward in truth, but you're not sure. And it's almost like you're more afraid of what they're not telling you than what it is that they are, saying to you. So this person definitely really hurt you, and I feel like it took a lot for you to come back into this Empress energy, but you are there, and that you know your value, you know your self-worth, and it's this energy of, yeah, I am the it girl or the it guy, and of course you would want to reconcile with me. So I do feel like there's something happened that was really heartbreaking. Let me see why the Fool is in reverse, because this is where you're really holding back. The Star card. Yeah, the Eight of Cups in the reverse. That's the return. That's the return. Somebody is returning, and you just don't know if this can be healed or not. You've done a lot of healing on your own. And so I do feel like you're hopeful, though. And I feel like you were always hopeful that this could be worked out. So this person's definitely still in your energy, and they are now coming back in. Yeah, they're coming back in to heal the connection, though. Let me see, why is the Knave of Swords here? Queen of Cups and the Queen of Wands reversed. Yeah, you love this person, but I feel like you kind of put a lid on the emotions that you were feeling until you find out what this person is going to actually do. I'm also feeling like, although you have a lot of passionate feelings towards this person, you're going to require this person to come towards you with emotion before you share that passion, which is probably a very good idea. So they're going to have to do the healing work in order for you to, fully open up. And remember, right now, they're coming towards you in more of a matter-of-fact, impulsive way, instead of coming towards you with their heart wide open, okay? It doesn't mean they don't have the feelings, though, Scorpio. I do see, again, you are definitely seated in your power. You've done an incredible job at healing your energy, but you're going to make sure that this person is coming towards you in the correct way. So I feel like this is a hope that you had, and I feel like it's being realized, but you're not going to jump into something either. So let's look at their energy. Now, for some of you, there was some third-party energy here too. If that's the case, you're going to make sure that before you even embark on a healing journey with this person, that third-party energy is no longer, here or affecting your connection. So let's look at their energy. Spirit, why is the Knight of Swords here for the person in Scorpio's energy? All right, so we have the Knight of Pentacles and we have the Devil. You could be dealing with a Capricorn, very strong Capricorn. There's also Taurus or Virgo energy here. This ended because of something toxic that was done on this person's side. I feel like this person is actually going to come in and tell you the truth about everything. They're going to reveal the truth. They're going to talk to you about why things ended, how things ended. There's an acknowledgement here that there was toxic energy and toxic behavior. All of this is going to be revealed. All of it is going to be coming out. Let's see why they're holding back, because you're showing me the Queen of Cups. They have the King of Cups. So this person, is an ideal partner for you, Scorpio. However, you're not quite on the same page just yet. You're holding back to make sure that this person is, going to walk the walk, and they're kind of resistant to showing their feelings. So let's see why this King of Cups is in reverse. Why is the King of Cups in reverse? This person has a very difficult time opening up emotionally. And I do feel like they are very impulsive as well. King of Swords reversed, Five of Swords, and the Ten of Coins reversed. So, yeah, this person doesn't want to tell you how they feel. They're resistant to opening up emotionally in order to bring about the healing that's here. They could be receiving poor advice from close friends or family that kind of keep them up in their ego. There could be a little bit of conflict with regard to, dishonest behavior in the past, or why they didn't communicate with you, why they're not opening up emotionally. They have a very difficult time with that, and it's their ego. They would much rather say it was your fault that things ended versus having to admit that they still have these feelings for you. So that can be a problem, but it's ego-driven. And it's also a feeling here, this person doesn't feel very supported by close friends and family either. They've experienced quite a loss when the connection between you and them ended. It did end because they had some sort of toxic behavior that was here, and I feel like they're not taking full accountability for that. Why is the Ten of Wands in reverse for Scorpio's person? Okay, Page of Cups reversed, the Chariot, Seven of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. Interesting. All right, so Scorpio, if they took up with somebody new, that has ended. That has ended. However, they're wanting to move this forward without completely taking accountability. There was sneaky behavior here. See, they just want to turn the page. They just want to put things back together without really taking accountability. This person may have even moved in with someone new or moved, to be towards somebody new. There's definitely they're wanting to move forward and turn the page with you. However, there is still some toxic behavior. There is still some, and ego, definitely some ego and narcissistic behavior. And they're not being completely open with regard to feelings and emotions. They're not even being completely open about what took place. Again, it's that energy of them saying, well, you could have done this, you could have done that. It's the energy of them not being accountable for their past behavior. It's almost like they're defending it. And they want to blame you instead. So I don't like that. And I don't feel like you're going to be, I don't feel like you're going to put up with that. So let me look at the energy between Scorpio and this person. Okay, so we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Oh, they do love you. They will be reaching out. But they're not going to be reaching out in the most honorable of ways, is what I want to say. Two of Cups and the Hierophant reversed. Yeah, there's still some stuck energy here. There's still some stuck energy. You're going to realize that. I feel like you're not going to completely move back into this connection until you know everything that you need to know. Why? Well, because you in the meantime worked on yourself, and you know your value, you know your self-worth. You're sitting back in the Empress energy, and you're just drawing to you what is for you. And I feel like you see through this person anyway. You know exactly why this connection ended. There are things that you feel this person's not being completely open about, and I have to say you are correct on that. So you're going to be resistant to going back into any kind of a full-blown commitment with this person until they come to you correctly. And right now, they're not completely coming to you correctly. There's still some toxic and sneaky energy here. They will be reaching out to you, though. This could be somebody who believes that the two of you are soulmates. Let me see. Show me what's affecting the connection. Show me what's affecting this connection, please. Ace of Cups reversed. And the Knight of Wands reversed. Yeah, you're wondering if they're coming back to you and if they want to heal the connection, or they're coming back to you with player energy. Because what you want in order to have a new beginning with this person is that they come back to heal the connection. And I feel like you're not going to be chasing them down. You've healed. You've done a lot of healing. So you're gonna hold the line here. You're definitely gonna hold the line here. This person is very drained. It's like they've been fighting battles on all fronts. I feel like this person has, they've been fighting battles with close friends or family. They are feeling very non-supported in their environment. And I also feel like they feel that, it's almost this energy that they can kind of gaslight you into thinking that this ended because of you. And I'm not seeing that. For some of you, I'm seeing that there could have even been third-party energy, and that's why you're feeling wronged by this person. And I don't see them coming back apologetically, and that's the problem. So they're drained, though. They're drained because they're fighting battles on all fronts. And there's this energy also that this person is drained because of their own dishonesty. So they're likely receiving some karma for some of the things that they've done, not even just with you, but in other areas as well. They've incurred a lot of losses. Let's see the outcome. Show me the outcome for Scorpio. Show me the outcome for Scorpio. All right, so we have the Five of Wands. We have the Four of Pentacles reversed, and we have Justice in reverse. Now, that's your underlying energy. So it looks like you don't dare hope that this person's coming back correctly. I have to say, you are you know, keeping a lid on your feelings. You're basically vetting them. You're watching them. You're watching to see, you know, are they going to take the actions necessary? Unfortunately, I feel like they do want to resolve the problems, but they don't want to take accountability. You're dealing with somebody here that is in a lot of ego. Their ego is very strong. So at the end of the day, I don't feel like they're apologetic for how they treated you in the past. And I feel like it's going to create conflict between the two of you. I do feel like at this point, even though you do love this person, you are not going to jump back into this. You're not going to hold on to something that is creating issues. Now, you are checking also to see, for those of you that there was third-party energy, you're checking to see, have they released that person fully? But the bigger problem, the deeper problem is that they're not taking the accountability that they need to take, and there is still that sneaky energy that I'm seeing here. It's almost like they want a restart, but they want that restart on a clean page, but they're not doing what it takes to create the clean page. You see what I'm saying? So they are likely receiving karma for the things that they've done. Yeah, they're not coming in a really balanced way either. They're holding back their feelings and emotion. There's still toxic energy. There's still that, and it's primarily related to their ego. So I feel like ultimately it's going to lead to a conflict between the two of you. And you're going to say, no, I'm not moving into this. I'm not moving into this, and I will let you go if that's how you're going to approach me. Bottom of the deck, it's the Four of Wands in the reverse. That is underlying energy. And that does tell me that this connection ended. Four of Wands, it could have been a marriage or a long-term connection, but it ended because of the injustice. And that injustice is not being addressed. So, and I feel like you now know your value and self-worth. You've healed. And I feel like you're not going to jump into anything that is not balanced any longer. And there could be a feeling of there's a lack of stability here because this person's not doing what it takes to make this right. They might be trying to basically manipulate you into doing that, you know, taking all the action, and you're basically saying, no, that's not on me, that's on you. So you're holding the line. Let me see, let's see if there's any advice for you in the Oracle deck, Scorpio. All right, it says heart chakra. Love is the heart of the matter. Your heart is the center within your physical being attuned most to love. It is safe for you to love and be loved with an open heart as we stand by with perfect protection and guidance. So you're being protected. You're being protected here, and I feel like that is very important because I do see that you do love this person, but it may be that, you know, they just are not at a space just yet to, you know, really open themselves up. So I think you are. And Spirit is saying that it is okay for you to love, but boundaries are important as well. And you are being protected here. All right, I hope that this has been helpful for you, Scorpio. If you have resonated with this reading, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and hype the video if you get the opportunity. Until I see you in your next reading, Scorpio, know that you are loved, and namaste.